Somewhere between the cold fog and the creaking branches, there was a church that preached silence and buried air. The story begins in Dagger, West Virginia, a now erased Appalachian settlement hidden in the Smoky Mountain hollows. What was once a remote mining village turned into a religious compound when Pastor Ezekiel Thorne arrived in 1971. He came claiming visions of angels and messages from the deep places of the earth. The town embraced him. The first coffin was buried just a year later. At first, no one questioned the funerals. People get sick. People die. But the town's death rate was nearly 10x higher than any county surrounding it. Yet no coroner records exist. Each funeral followed the same eerie pattern. Closed caskets, no wakes, no death certificates. And then rumors began. No one had actually seen the bodies. The Appalachian mist played tricks on the mind, and the people of Dagger stopped speaking to outsiders. Schoolchildren vanished. Hikers were warned away. One state trooper's report from 1975 mentions a wall of trees moving unnaturally around the church perimeter. The file was lost in a county building fire later that year. In 1983, the town burned completely. Fire crews were never called. Survivors claim the blaze consumed only the church and surrounding graves, 138 in total. Most of the town's structures remained untouched. The graves, charred, sealed, empty. But some say that fire wasn't meant to destroy. It was meant to seal something in. This wasn't Christianity. This was something much older wearing its skin. Ezekiel Thorne didn't build the church on faith. He built it on power. While the outside world saw wooden pews and a rusted cross, inside was a different gospel, a doctrine of the hollowing. Thorne taught his congregation that humanity was born filled with false light, and the only path to salvation was to empty the vessel. If no one dies, why are there graves? Over 11 years, the town of Dagger buried 138 closed caskets. That's more than one person a month, vanished, presumed dead, and buried without autopsy. When outsiders began to question the mortality rate, Thorne deflected. "We do not bury the dead. We bury the emptied," he wrote in one of his surviving journals. After the fire, the site was sealed off by the county due to alleged biohazards. But in 1994, a group of amateur paranormal investigators snuck into the graveyard during a full moon and unearthed 12 coffins. All 12 were empty. Except they weren't. One held nothing but goat bones and child's clothing. Another was packed with mud, a cracked porcelain doll, and teeth, human, but filed flat. One was filled with moldy hymn books, each page slashed with a single red line. And 3 had no bottom, the soil beneath packed tight, as if something had crawled in, not out. Carved inside several lids were strange symbols, a vertical eye, an incomplete circle, a string of numbers, 138, 3 hollow mouth. The local sheriff called the incident a hoax, but photographs leaked online. Within weeks, the area was seized by federal agents under Environmental Containment Act C9, an obscure and mostly unused Cold War protocol. The photos ? Scrubbed. The domain host ? Erased. To this day, no exhumation orders have been approved, but hikers report strange indentations in the dirt near the cemetery, coffin-sized, fresh, every year. They tell me my sister died in that church, but I saw her blinking, and she was mouthing one word: run. There were survivors, but very few, and almost none have gone on record. Sarah Neves, one of the last children to escape the church, now lives under federal witness protection. In her only public interview, she recalled being lowered into the ground with a candle on my chest, while Thorne read from an unma. They built the church to cover something that breathes. In 2005, a team of rogue archaeologists obtained access to the burned church grounds. Beneath the foundation, they uncovered a circular stone seal, inscribed with ancient markings predating European settlement. The stones were fused, not mortared, as if melted together. The chamber below was filled with unexplained electromagnetic readings, signal distortions, and a persistent low hum audible through soil and metal. Researchers reported hearing chanting in reverse and the smell of myrrh and burning hair. Their camera equipment malfunctioned, batteries drained in seconds. Within days, 2 researchers had violent psychological breaks. One, Dr. Felix Morrow, was last seen walking into the woods barefoot. He never returned. Inside the chamber were rows of carved recesses, perfectly coffin-sized, but none held bodies, only worn symbols. One glyph loosely translates to, "Hollow the child, feed the gate, silence the earth." The excavation was halted by federal agents citing national security. The site was sealed with concrete and declared unstable. It is now overgrown, and GPS devices cease functioning within a half-mile radius. But some say on moonless nights, a choir can be heard humming from beneath the ground, and fresh pine sap appears in the shape of eyes on unmarked graves. No map shows it, no census lists it, but 138 names once echoed through these trees, and something still answers when they're called. Today, if you search for the town of Dagger, West Virginia, you'll find nothing. No records, no coordinates. County archives list a clerical correction for the entire zip code region, as if it never existed. Satellite images of the region show dense, unnatural tree growth. One patch always in shadow, no matter the season. Locals refer to it as the shiver patch. Cell signals die. Kompasam says spin. And cameras refuse to focus. It's as if something doesn't want to be seen. But hikers, thrill seekers, and fringe journalists still attempt to find what remains. Some return, changed. Others don't return at all. One man, Daniel Kearns, a cryptid researcher, uploaded a short video before disappearing. The footage shows him approaching a clearing. At 3:06, the wind stops. At 3:09, a child's voice says, "Are you empty?" At 3:10, the screen goes black. His body was found 3 weeks later, in a different state. Mouth open, eyes sewn shut, chest hollowed, no organs. Since 2005, 8 more investigators have vanished while researching Dagger. No patterns, no remains. Some believe the Church of the Hollow Earth wasn't just a cult. It was a containment unit, a protective seal built in desperation, not devotion. Ezekiel Thorne may have been insane, or he may have been something worse. Right. Maybe Thorne didn't vanish. Maybe he was taken as the final offering. Or maybe he's still preaching from the other side of the seal.